User stories and use cases are two popular techniques in software development that serve as tools for capturing and defining requirements. Both approaches are used to describe how a system should behave from a user's perspective, but they have distinct characteristics, purposes, and formats. This comprehensive comparison will help you understand the differences and similarities between user stories and use cases. User story. Format. User stories are typically written in a simple, informal format. As a user role, I want an action, so that benefit or goal. For example, as a customer, I want to add products to my shopping cart so that I can easily purchase them. Granularity. User stories are often smaller in scope and are meant to represent a single piece of functionality or feature. They are part of an iterative and incremental development process, focusing on delivering value to the user with each iteration. User-centered. User stories emphasize the user's perspective and their needs. They are often used in agile methodologies like Scrum to facilitate collaboration between developers and users. Details. User stories may lack comprehensive details, which can be discussed during backlog refinement or sprint planning meetings. The focus is on a high-level description of the desired functionality. Acceptance criteria. User stories are accompanied by acceptance criteria that define the conditions that must be met for the story to be considered complete. These criteria are specific and help ensure that the story is correctly implemented. Change-friendly. User stories are relatively easy to change or reprioritize since they are small and flexible. This makes them suitable for agile environments where requirements often evolve. Use case. Format. Use cases are documented more formally and typically include sections like the use case name, description, actors, preconditions, main flow, alternative flows, and post conditions. Granularity. Use cases can be more extensive in scope and describe entire interactions or scenarios within a system. They may encompass multiple user stories and provide a more holistic view of system behavior. System-centered. Use cases focus on the system's behavior and how it interacts with various actors, users, or external systems. They are often used in more traditional or structured development methodologies like waterfall. Details. Use cases tend to provide more extensive details about system behavior, including both the primary flow and various alternative paths or exceptions. Acceptance criteria. While use cases can have conditions or constraints, they are not as explicitly defined as user story acceptance criteria. Use cases rely more on the detailed descriptions within the document. Change management. Use cases can be less flexible in accommodating changes, as they are more comprehensive and interconnected. Modifications often require updating multiple sections of the document. Key differences. Format. User stories are brief, informal, and user-centered, while use cases are more formal, comprehensive, and system-centered. Granularity. User stories are smaller and focus on delivering incremental value, while use cases can cover broader interactions or scenarios. Change management. User stories are more adaptable to change due to their smaller scope, while changing use cases can be more involved and impact multiple parts of the documentation. Choosing between user stories and use cases. User stories are suitable for agile environments and projects where flexibility and frequent changes are expected. They are great for prioritizing features based on user needs and can be used in combination with other agile practices like Scrum. Use cases are more suitable for projects with a more formal or structured development approach, where detailed documentation is required for compliance or regulatory reasons. They are often used in industries like healthcare or finance. In practice, many organizations use a combination of both approaches, tailoring their requirements documentation to suit the specific needs of the project and the development methodology being employed.